So, hi and welcome to a new episode of Hello World. Today, EU shared their 2020 Innovation Scoreboard, and where they evaluate the innovation performance of different countries within the EU or their neighbors. And we were lucky enough to be number one on that list, and are actually together with Denmark, Finland, Luxembourg, and the Netherlands among the innovation leaders in Europe. So that's something to be proud of. And it fits perfectly with today's topic because we're going to speak about hackathon and the value of hackathons in the innovation process. And I'm lucky enough to have two guests today. I have my new colleague, Goran. Goran just joined us as a senior architect and our technical manager as well. And Goran, you're sort of a veteran within hackathons. You've taken part in more than 20, either as a participant or mentoring teams or judging and so on. So tell us, what is a hackathon and what's so cool about it?
Okay, so first thing first, like hacking, I would say that's creative problem solving. And hackathon is an event, usually like a short event, 24 or 48 hours. That is like a short sprint where software developers and others gather together, try to solve some problems and come up with innovative solutions.
And you like them because?
Because of innovation. It's really great to see like what people can achieve in 24 or 48 hours, like what kind of products they can build, proof of concepts and such, and to see those ideas like okay, what they actually managed to build in such a short time. It's
kind of cool to see what you can do when you have a very short time frame.
Yeah.
So we also joined today with our main expert and our guest, Ann Molin. So Ann Molin works as head of Hack for Earth at the government agency, the Swedish Institute. So welcome to the show, Ann. Nice to have you here.
Welcome.
Nice to see you.
So, and you were previously the project manager for the government mission Hack for Sweden, and also the project manager for the online hackathon Hack the Crisis Sweden. And the last one was sort of organized now to find, solutions to the COVID-19 situation. And it's kind of cool because there were sort of 7,439 participants in Sweden. And it was actually the biggest hackathon that you've ever made in Sweden. And if I remember correctly, I think we had actually two teams who went to the finals, right? Right, for hack, what was it called? Virus versus EU versus virus, right? So that's...
Yes, we had several teams that went on to the EU Commission's hackathon, EU versus virus, correct.
Yeah, cool. So you have a background as a psychologist, which is not so techy. So when you were approached with the hackathon, and when you just sort of first encountered the methodology of a hackathon, what was it that fascinated you, and what makes your perspective on hackathon a bit different maybe than everybody else's?
Since I don't have a technological background, I also feel free to ask any questions about hackathons and the innovation world that I feel fit, because I have nothing to lose. So I also come with a different perspective, and I really believe that's part of the success of Hack for Sweden, was that I came in with a different perspective, and we built the Hack for Sweden platform on different perspectives that were joined. So as a psychologist, yes, that's my background, but also I've been working a lot as a project manager. So that is what I bring to the table. And also I truly believe that we need to bring so many more people into the innovation ecosystem, people that are not now a part of this, in order to find solutions for the future society that we all need and all want to live in. And today, most people coming to hackathons are very competent people, of course, but they're mainly programmers and technological people. And in order to build the solutions that we need in the future, so many more need to join with their perspectives. And that is what I found when I first participated in a hackathon before I became project manager for Hack for Sweden. I believe that the concept of a hackathon is quite magical, because something happens when people from different sectors and different parts of society meet and actually work together on a common challenge, a common goal. That is more efficient in building trust and building networks than just sitting together in a room talking to each other. That common experience builds trust, and that in its turn can build different connections over sectors and between different parts of organizations that are not there today. And that I truly believe that is one very important key for the future, that we connect the different parts of society that are not connected today, because in the future so many more parts need to be connected, because that's just the way forward. I truly believe that.
Yeah.
So you took over as a project manager for Hack for Sweden in 2018. Could you tell us a bit more, like what is Hack for Sweden and what is the purpose, how it is arranged?
Hack for Sweden is a government mission, and it's administered through the Ministry of Infrastructure. And it has been around since 2014. And it has been going from government agency to a different government agency for the past few years. And when I took over as project manager for Hack for Sweden, the main goal was to organize a yearly hackathon where the then 29 government agencies invited society to come build new solutions on their open data. And of course, this is a great idea, but when I came in as a project manager, the first question I asked was, why are only government agencies part of this? In order to build really good solutions for the good of society, we need all the other parts. We need academia, we need the private sector, we need the citizens to come join in this. So that was one thing, that we wanted to broaden the target group for people joining, and also partner organizations. So we went from 29 partner organizations only from public sector in 2018 to now in 2019, almost 100. I think it's 98 partner organizations, and half of them are from the private sector and half of them are from the public sector. And the main goal for all of them, what unites them in the Hack for Sweden community, is that they all want to contribute to making good solutions for society. That if you don't want to do that, you can't join. To just make it easy. No, so that's what makes it their common goal. And also, we needed to expand Hack for Sweden. Of course, it was great that we met once a year and had this really cool hackathon, but the solutions were not being taken care of, because at the end of a hackathon, it is much like standing in a room full of yellow Post-its. We've all been there at that great workshop we participated in, or a hackathon. And at the end, it's like, oh, great ideas, but they really don't have a true meaning or can have any kind of true impact if we don't work afterwards to make them a reality. So that was also one of the things that I initiated as project manager, that we created a structure around the winning teams to help them as far as it was possible to realize their solutions and implement them in society. So, yeah.
Yeah. I know when we talked about this earlier, you were saying that it was kind of difficult to make that happen, actually, because there are laws that you need to take care of, governments that are really used to be agile and maybe work in that way. And then there were problems with funding the solutions. So how do you overcome those hurdles, so to say, to make it easier to actually get real stuff done?
Yes. Just before I go into that, I just want to emphasize that there are two parts of Hack for Sweden as a platform, because Hack for Sweden has evolved into a platform for citizen-driven innovation that's present all year round. That is the goal, not just a yearly hackathon, but with events and meetups and other things being present all year round. And that is so it's also an important driver of connections between different parts of society. And that's one goal that is important to be this creator of new connections between different parts of society. And the other part is, of course, to make these solutions come to life. And well, it's not always easy to create this in Sweden, because we have the law of procurement, lagen om offentlig upphandling in Swedish, LOU. And that, of course, is created with the interest of our citizens at the heart. It comes from the best of intentions, but when it comes to innovation and implementing innovative solutions within the public sector, it isn't always helping.
No.
So this has been quite a hurdle to get over, but we're very lucky. The Upphandlingsmyndigheten, the government agency of procurement, was luckily enough within the steering committee of Hack for Sweden, and they are very helpful and really try to help the government authorities. But one thing that I also see as a dilemma is that the government agencies in Sweden and other public sector actors, they don't have the publishing of open data and reuse of open data very high up in their priority. And when I started out as the project manager, I guess I was quite naive. And I just thought, if I just tell everybody how important this is, everybody is going to follow and they will understand. It will be, of course. And now, 2 years later, it's like, well, okay, it's not always just about that, and I regret to say that I have come to the conclusion that what is needed actually is something much more structure or very very clear, and that is clear focus and clear directions from the government. That this is a priority, because that is what the government agencies and also the municipalities and others, that is what they answer up to. What is in that letter that they get from the government on this is what you are supposed to do this year. Yeah. That is what they have to work on. And if it's not up there at the top, that open data and innovation for the citizens, that is really important. Well, there are so many other things that of course are important. So then it will not be a priority. So I've been very clear in the report that this is what is needed, a clear focus. And it's kind of interesting that OECD came with a report the other year, 2019, on the digital government review of Sweden. And their conclusion was that Sweden, we are doing a lot of things right, but when it comes to open data, we are not very high up in the hierarchy. You would think that we are good on open data because we are in Sweden. Everything is we are a lot for the principle that everything should be open in the public sector and accessible, but not when it comes to data. The open data that should be published, we haven't even organized it well enough. So we don't even really know what is protected by the GDPR and what is not maybe publishable and what should be published. So this is an issue. So I think we're on the place number 28, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere there in comparison to the OECD countries. We are not very high up. But I choose to see this as a positive thing. This means that there's room for improvement and there's a lot that can be done. We can only get better from here. So yeah, but there's definitely room for improvement when it comes to open data.
I would fully agree that this open data is important ingredient for building successful solution. So what do you think are the challenges to get more open data and for this data to be more accessible?
I think we have to make it very clear to the people who are making the decisions and also to the citizens why open data is important and what it's used for. And that's why we have to make the connection between this is solution that was built on open data. So what if we publish this open data that's within your government agency? Just imagine what we could build then. Yeah. Because if you don't have that connection, it's really hard. Open data can be very abstract if you don't work with it. Yeah. I usually get the question always from the government agencies, but our data is not interesting. Who would want that? Yeah. And that is, of course, a question that you cannot answer. I don't know. Maybe there's somebody out there who would find this data super relevant. Yeah. Because they have a super interesting idea that we don't know what it is yet.
Exactly.
So if you ask me, and this is my personal, of course, view, is that we should just publish as much data as possible. That is okay. That of course, we have to follow the laws, but there's a lot of data that could be published that is not being published because we are not prioritizing it. Yeah. And that is, it's kind of like if the building blocks are there, it's so much easier to see, well, maybe we should build this and this and this because this is here and this is there. Then it's the other way around. It's harder to work that way. Yeah. To say that you have to ask for the data. Well, I don't really know what I want. You have to show me what I want.
What I can have. Yeah, exactly.
I think about it. Yeah.
I think the other day we were actually interviewing another guest of the show, and he was talking about smart cities. And smart cities are coming everywhere, and of course, open data is very much a big part of that. So I think as more cities sort of take on that strategy as well, I think the open data will sort of automatically come in a more way, to a greater extent, because you're starting to have a discussion about the relevance and the importance of data in more areas than maybe just within the hackathon. So I think that hopefully that will change as well. So I think that's good. So I'm thinking about, you were saying that, I mean, to make things come true, you were actually putting things in place in terms of, making sure they had funding, they could work together and so on, because it is a big challenge, and we've all been there with successful workshops and so on, and then people just go home and do what they always done, and you stand there frustrated, but come on, there were so many great ideas. So tell us a bit more, how did you do that? How do we at least make sure? And I know you were saying that the two teams, I think, that went to the final, they actually turned up to be startups that are actually trying out their solutions for real now. So how do we increase that? How do we make that happen?
Well, of course, part of it is what I talked about just now, making the value of open data obvious to so many more people, making the decisions within the government agencies and within the public sector, and also within the civil society. This is important, and also we have to use a hackathon as a driver for innovation to a much greater extent, and invite more people, and because I really think that what I see in my experience is that the people working on the solutions, say the winners of Hacker Sweden 2018 and also 2019, they were super excited, and they've been working really hard, and so happy that we wanted to help them, and creating this structure around them with somewhere to sit connections with the right institutions and innovation hubs and government agencies to get the open data they needed, and also other help that they needed. So that is not the issue. The issue is more getting it to fit within the public sector and together with law procurement, because there are some really cool solutions being created, and you can see now that from Hack the Crisis Sweden, there are 2 pilots being started, and one of them is in Helsingborg, city of Sweden, and also another one is within 3 municipalities in the county of Skåne in the south of Sweden. And both of them have gone from just an idea with a group of people that had never met before at this European Hackathon EU versus virus in late April. And after that, just within 2 months, they are starting a real-life pilot. And one of them is addressing the issue of domestic violence. and the other one is creating a network for people or the civil society to help out in a time of crisis, because they realize now that when this crisis happened, that the people and institutions that wanted to help out, it was hard for them to get connected with the public sector to deliver. So that's what they have built. And I guess I really truly believe it's important that we show off and talk about and present these solutions, because it's only that way when you can see the practical use that I have as a citizen within my life and my what do you call it, everyday life. If I can see that, I can so much more understand why it's important that I participate myself, and also why more people are participating, and I can understand the value of open data. So real life practical solutions are important, and they're happening now. Even if I would wish they would happen even faster. It's coming.
That's good.
Okay, and you're now the project manager for Hack for Earth and Kids Hack the Crisis Global, right? So those are even bigger events. And like, could you tell us about setup there and what the plans are?
Yes, on March 26th this year, the government mission of Hack for Sweden was given to the Government Agency of Digitalization, DIG, from the Ministry of Infrastructure. So the national responsibility is with the Government Agency of Digitalization from now on. And the international part of the government mission Hack for Sweden is with the Swedish Institute. And that's why I'm also employed at the Swedish Institute from now on. And Hack for Earth is a hackathon, a global online hackathon that we are doing together with Expo 2020, the world exhibition that was supposed to actually open this fall in October, but due to recent events and the current crisis, it's been moved to 2021. So it's opening in October 2021. So that's why we have to organize a global hackathon for children instead. And that is something we're doing together with UNICEF Sweden, and we are addressing the issues that have arisen in children's lives according to the crisis. So children's lives have, of course, been affected, and so far we have not invited them to formulate the challenges and work on the solutions. There have been a lot of online global hackathons and also national hackathons like Hack the Crisis Sweden and the EU versus virus, and also lots of others. But they are for grown-ups, and I really feel very excited to be organizing this global hackathon where we invite a very large group into the innovation ecosystem for the first time seriously, because I really believe we need their competence and their ideas. So there will be more info coming this fall in September, and it's going to be on October 23rd to 25th in conjunction with the UN Day, that is October 24th. So more info coming on that. So of course we're looking for mentors, and grown-ups can of course participate in any other way, but only children will participate in the hackathon.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that's the good part of having to change your plans and postponing Hack for Earth a year until next year. Yeah.
But it's kind of cool with Hack for Earth as well. Just with Hack for Sweden, you're actually putting out a campaign asking people to say, what are your dreams? What do you see ahead of you for 2045, was it? Yeah, so that you get ideas connected to the 17 goals of the UN for sustainability, and you really invite people all over the globe to sort of bring in ideas of use cases that you can solve during Hack for Earth. I think that's kind of a cool way to really make people feel involved in the hackathons, even if you're not participating. And I'm assuming that the participants really feel that they're actually solving something that is an issue to somebody for real. So I think that's a cool thing.
we're hoping this will both invite more people to feel that I can participate and I want to participate in this hackathon, Hack for Earth, and that is something for me, even though I'm not a programmer or a technological skilled person. Of course, we need that competence, that it's very important, but we also need the others that participate with some other expert competence, and that can be within any kind of competence that is related to solving the 17 global goals, but because that is the main aim, of course, for Hack for Earth, to find real solutions to the 17 global goals and to, as you say, Kim, really have a good foundation for these within people by asking them, what is your dream for the world in the year 2045? What would you see as the most important thing that we have solved, and what does it look like? Yeah. And we did this in Sweden with a campaign, Dream for Sweden, last year. So we're hoping this will be a good way to scale it up and to invite people to dream for Earth, and to, in that way, have more citizens participate. Yeah.
I'm sure you will be very successful with that as well. So finally, Ann, just to conclude, what is sort of your greatest takeaway or your best learnings from hackathons? What is it you're sort of really, this is what you like the most?
It's a fantastic way of bringing people from different backgrounds together, and it's such a great focus on action, on actually doing things together, because at least in Sweden, I think that we are very good at talking a lot and going to a lot of meetings, and that is of course great, but we could be even better at doing things together. We need to talk and do things at the same time, and hackathons is a very good way of bringing people together from different backgrounds and actually do things together, and that creates a very positive effect in people that they want to continue on this. So that's why I really think that's the best between the action part.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much for taking the time today, Ann, to join us. It's been really interesting to learn so much more about hackathons. To me, it's been sort of a new world to dive into. So I'm really grateful for your sharing.
Thank you so much for having me. It was great participating.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye. So Goran,
yes,
that's a woman with a lot of energy. Yeah, I can understand that she likes the getting things done. I can definitely relate to that. So just to finalize as well, what is the coolest hackathon you've been to?
Beside the one we just mentioned, and Hack the Crisis, that was really impressive to see so many people and such. Back in the days when we were able to meet in person, there was one, I think it was 3 years ago, one interesting hackathon in South Germany, where whole hackathon was actually organized as part of exhibition in a technical museum. So people were able to come in and to see like what people are doing, what kind of cool projects they are playing with and such. So that was really interesting concept, like to bring hackathons closer to people.
Yeah, I think that's good. So I'm really looking forward to, we are arranging our first internal hackathon with clients this fall. So I really look forward to experience it for real. So.
It will be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think so as well. So thank you for joining us today, and make sure that you follow us on LinkedIn so you don't miss any future episodes. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.